Hi everyone, we are in DCS World F-16C Viper, and in this video we are going to look into the Fcr of F-16. Displayed onto your left MFD by default is the base page of APG68. We'll quickly go over through all the options on the base page and then the control menu. So let's get started. In the middle of the base page, this blue horizontal line is aligned with the pitch axis and the roll axis of the aircraft and tells you about your orientation in the heads down environment. Two scales are available, one on the left side and one in the bottom. They are calibrated in terms of 10 degrees and tells the position of the FCR antenna with respect to the nose of the aircraft. The T symbols displayed on left of the left scale and on the bottom side of the bottom scale tells the FCR position in azimuth and in pitch. Let's start off from OSP1. Right now CRM is the default mode of the FCR. Pressing it OSP1 opens up the additional modes which are available in APG68. On the left side are the air-to-air modes, and on to the right, which is ground mapping, ground moving target, sea, beacon, and the standby mode. Let's stay into the CRM mode for now. Next, in OSP2, presently range while search sub mode is selected. This OSP can be pressed to change into the sub mode of track while scan and pressed again to come back to the RWS. Both of these modes have different set of rules and functions which will be discussed during the in-flight operation of the FCR. OSP3 can be used to trigger the expand function of the FCR. Once pressed, the expands starts to come highlighted and the area around the FCR zooms in into a ratio of 4:1. Press the button again and the radar will come back to the normal mode. This feature can also be triggered by utilizing the expand field of view or the pinky button onto your sight stick. OSP4 pushes the radar into an override mode. The radar stops to transmit, not SOI is displayed onto your FCR, and the antenna goes to the locking position of fully left and fully up. Press the OSP4 again and the radar will come back to the normal mode. On ground, the transmissions are still inhibited to protect the personnel from the electromagnetic radiations. We will see the OSP5 and control page at the end. Right now, let's move to the bottom rows of the OSP. The declutter function is currently not available. Moving on to the left side, against OSP15, presently swap is written. As discussed in MFD's tutorial, pressing it once will change the display of left MFD with the right MFD, and press it again and you will come back to the previous setting. Above swap, currently all is written. This selection basically tells us about the Link 16 correlate target display onto the FCR. Press the COM outboard once and this all will change to none. Thus, none of the Link 16 correlated targets will be displayed on your FCR. Press the COM outboard again and the selection will come back to all. Another rotary of selections can be achieved by COM inboard. Press the COM inboard once and only those Link 16 targets which are of fighter class will be displayed on your FCR. Press it again and only those aircraft which are being targeted by your flight or team members will display on your FCR. This selection, however, does not alter anything which is being displayed on your HST. Press the COM inboard again and we come back to the default position of all. Onto the left bottom, we will see the bearing and range only once the bullseye is mode selected and highlighted. This bullseye can be selected by list 0, 8, mode select to highlight the bullseye, and let's select steer point 2 for now. As soon as this setting is achieved, onto the left bottom we can see our own ship range and bearing with respect to the selected bullseye. The similar display is available onto the left bottom of your HUD and onto the left bottom of your HSD as well. Above the bullseye, M4 or mode 4 is written. This tells us that once interrogated, the mode 4 of the aircraft will be interrogated by your active IFF. Above the mode 4, the 3 digits in degrees and 2 digits for the range tells us about the bullseye position of your FCR. Moving the cursor left or right changes these position. Above that is the selection for the bars. The default position is 4 bar, which can be pressed once to come back to the 1 bar, then to 2 bar, and finally the 4 bar again. This bar selection basically dictates the altitude you are scanning with your FCR. As we move to the 1 bar, you will see that the altitude bracket shown against the FCR cursor shrinks down to a narrow bracket. Moving it to a 2 bar, this altitude bracket increases, and the default 4 bar scans as per the entire potential of your FCR. However, if the bars are high, the update rate is slow, and if the bars are low, vice versa. Then moving on to the next OSP, which is selection for the azimuth. By default, it is 60 degrees. Pressing it once, it will come back to 30 degrees. Pressing it again, the radar will come down to 10 degree scan. Pressing it again, it will come back to 60 degree. This option can also be available by slamming your FCR cursor onto the left or right of the MFD. Hitting it towards the one side will bring the azimuth down to 30 degrees. Hitting it again onto the either side will bring it back to the 60 degree scan. The 10 degree scan is not available through this operation. However, it can be activated by holding the TMS forward and hold for greater than 1 second, and the radar will go into 10 degree scan. This mode is called the spotlight mode. OSP 19 and 20 can be used to adjust the scale of the FCR. Pressing OSP 20 will cycle through the available options for increasing the range. For example, right now it is 80. Pressing it again will take it to 160, and pressing the OSP 19 will bring down the FCR range in increments till the maximum of 5 nautical mile. Let's adjust it back to the 40 nautical mile range. Now let's discuss about the OSP 5, that is the control page. The control page displays additional set of options that are available. Some of them are implemented and some of them are not. I'll quickly give an overview. Against OSP 16, where channel 1 is written, tells us the frequency band, frequency set of bands that the FCR is currently using. OSP 7, marker intensity, can be used to increase or decrease the intensity of the targets. OSP, where the band wide is written, is used to narrow or wide band of electromagnetic radiations being used by the radar. The beacon delay can be used in case of a ground target is being designated by a radio beacon by a designator on the ground. The power management mode is by default in off position. Once implemented and on, it allows the FCR to modulate its power as per the intercept requirements. Let's move on to the left side now. Against OSP 20, MTR low is written. This can be changed by pressing the OSP to MTR high. This OSP can be used to increase or decrease the threshold of velocity for rejecting the targets as part of the ground clutter. OSP 19 is set by default in the off position. Once selected to on position, any target which is in front of the nose of the aircraft at a range which is equal to your height in nautical miles will be rejected as part of the ground clutter. For example, if you're flying at 6,000 feet, that is approximately 1 nautical mile, a target 1 nautical mile in front of you will be rejected by your FCR, considering it as a part of the ground crater. Target history can be increased or decreased as per the requirement to see the previous and the projected path of the targets. The level is currently not implemented. Pressing OSP 5 again will take you out of the control page and back to the FCR base page. Not to forget, the FCR cursor is indicated by these two vertical bars. Alongside these two bars, bottom is the minimum altitude that your FCR is currently scanning, and on top right is the maximum altitude at which your FCR is currently looking. I hope that helped. Take care. Bye bye.